This is Kardec Radio bringing you the book, Getting to the Light, Spiritist Therapy for Discarnate Spirits, written by Nilson de Souza Pereira. This partial audio recording will cover Part 3, pages 13 through 15. Spiritist Therapy for Discarnate Spirits. The best way to approach this type of troubled spirits is to treat them as Jesus used to treat the Pharisees and hypocrites, the one-day dominators. Jesus faced them with true humility, with no fear of any kind, demonstrating to them very simply the mistake that they were making. When dealing with this category of troubled spirits, the therapist has to appeal to their discarnate state, where they are still prisoners of their own will. The therapist should help those spirits realize that they have neither found the heaven that they proclaimed nor the peace they thought they deserved. When treating the different types of discarnate spirits, it is important to keep in mind that Spiritist therapy happens in an environment of special vibrations, where ideoplasty manifests itself very easily. Ideoplasty being a new term created by Spiritist thinkers. Ideoplasty means 1. Molding quintessenced matter with thought. 2. The materialization of the thought, creating forms that are durable depending on the persistence of the wave of thought in which they are expressed. Therefore, it is necessary that the mind of the spirit counselor be in harmony in order to project images that become vested by the spoken words, thus reaching the target that is the discarnate communicant. It is relevant to consider that many troubled spirits carry idioplasmic diseases that injured them. Thus, they present themselves as someone sick and pitiful. In those cases, the spirit psychotherapist must use spiritual medicine. If the situation is grave enough, the spirit counselor may induce the application of imaginary needles so that the sick spirit will have the opportunity to see their shape and consequently feel their effect. In any situation, the spirit counselor's attitude, as well as his or her own spiritual development and good actions, will always constitute the most valuable resources to alleviate suffering because of the enlightenment they can promote. Also, the majority of discarnate patients who are touched by the help they receive tend to stay in the area or follow the counselor. They want to verify in motu proprio that the spiritual counselor who gave them the therapeutic resources also lives according to the transmitted knowledge. This is especially true in the case of obsessors and fanatically religious troubled spirits. The preparation of the spirit psychotherapist should be slow and careful. It is necessary to have a good psychological sense, so that one can easily detect the problem of the communicant and become aware of the best way to offer treatment. The spirit psychotherapist must improve him or herself in order to become an easy instrument for the good spirits. In truth, it is those good spirits who are actually responsible for the results of a helpful mediumistic activity or disobsession or removal of obsession. For more information about obsession, read Chapter 23 of Medium's book and also the book Disobsession by André Louis Francisco Xavier. Their awareness of the true causes of events becomes manifest during the mediumistic meeting dedicated to this work. Serenity, inner harmony, knowledge of Spiritism, and living according to its postulates are sine qua non. That which are essential is conditions for a spirit psychotherapist. On the other hand, the experience acquired on the job will also offer resources to identify spirit mystifiers and deceivers who appear in places where they find openings. The spirit counselor shall treat them energetically, but with love, so that they will not be able to interfere with the good works they take pleasure in disturbing and impeding. Therefore, it is extremely necessary that your meetings be serious. Participants should be compatible and in harmony with each other interested in the acquisition of knowledge and committed to the work. They should be noble in their goals and actions in order to deserve the help and support from superior spirits, who will only be attracted to those who are dedicated to self-improvement and inner growth. Psychotherapy for discarnate spirits is valuable for all involved. At the same time that it helps discarnate patients, it also benefits the members of the mediumistic work group, stimulating their moral transformation and the development of virtues through the practice of charity. Since we are all spirits, the tormented discarnates that visit us are an invitation for reflection, a warning of what can happen if we act with frivolity and mindlessness. Training, therefore, is very important. It starts with the simplest activities, where the medium educates his or her mediumistic faculty in order to receive the Spirit's communications with clarity by disciplining the nervous system and the automatic impulses that occur during the fluidic union, perispirit to perispirit, between the spirit and the specialized machinery, or the medium's physical body. In this area of identification of mediumistic events, the aspiring spirit psychotherapist acquires the skill to treat discarnates and becomes an efficient instrument for higher accomplishments. This is especially true in the area of spiritual surgeries, which are performed by spiritual mentors in the recesses of an obsessed person. In those surgeries, fluidic implants, inserted by troubled spirits skilled in the techniques of obsessions, are extracted. Every day, safer therapeutic techniques, more effective behaviors, and more rigorous means of assistance are identified in order to alleviate the worries and pains of the spirit world. The entities that are enlightened during these specialized Spiritist meetings will reincarnate in better moral conditions and be able to count on stronger inner resources. They will have a chance to put into practice the teachings embedded in their deepest memories, and will be able to restart their journey better prepared for the challenges they will face. Spirit psychotherapists represent a class of dedicated servers of the Spiritist cause on behalf of those on both sides of life who need help and guidance regarding their spiritual future. Spirit counselors safely walk the path of work, love, and fullness that lays ahead for everyone.